Hello, Hollywood.
'Tis the season, my friend.
It is the season, but man, where are these movies coming from? In all directions, the answer is.
Yes, that's for sure.
Wow. I mean, it's like every time I turn on anything, it's like there's something new. There's something new.
I know. And, and ever since I went from film critic to entertainment critic and now also do theater and television, and it's just really all over the map.
How do you keep up?
I don't.
Okay.
That's the thing. It's so weird, and especially like a week from today, our nomination recommendations are due for the Critics' Choice Awards, and the amount of screeners that I have and what I'm supposed to get through between now and then, they only send them to you in like the last week or two,
yeah.
And like you can watch 80 movies a day to make up for all the ones that they didn't let you see throughout the year. It's just ridiculous. So there's that, but then there's also, all the other work that I do and promoting and cheerleading of arts and entertainment. And it's just, it is a lot of, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I can't imagine doing anything else. Wow. But it's hard to keep up. And then there are other priorities that I have that sometimes, get neglected.
The digital format has changed everything, especially here, because we've lost 2 theaters in the past month, and it's like, okay, we've got to somehow, some way preserve these theaters because I realize there's a lot of them out there, but it doesn't mean that it's time to let them go.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think there's going to be more of that, if anything else, especially as we see the award season roll through and more things go to Apple TV Plus and to Netflix and Prime Video and the rest of it. Do
you think they'll come up with some sort of rule that says, hey, look, you cannot put it on the digital platform until maybe 3 or 4 weeks after it's been released? Or do they want that quick buck right away?
No, it changes. Like, for example, if we look at a movie like Glass Onion, which came out last Friday in theaters, is opening December 23rd on Netflix. So you've got a good month there. But then there are other ones like Spirited, Apple TV Plus, which opened in theaters, and then just 1 week later open on streaming on Apple TV Plus. So the window's closing. And then there are those that are, opening same day where you can like stream it on Peacock and in theaters, certain movies or things like that, so it all depends.
I'm in that position where I don't know what's opening this weekend.
I know.
So what is going on?
Oh, well, I'll let you know that there's one big movie opening today, and that's why I started with 'Tis the Season, because it is a holiday film. It's the rare R-rated holiday movie, which we get far too few of, and it's Violent Night, starring David Harbour, who is Hopper from Stranger Things. Everybody loves him, and he plays Santa Claus. He's this like curmudgeonly, really like bitter, kind of burned out Santa Claus, but he's the real Santa Claus. And then he goes down the chimney, the wrong chimney at like the right chimney at the wrong time.
Oh, wow.
So, and he's more John Wick than Saint Nick, as I like to say. And because a lot of the fight choreography, it's very rated R, it's very gory, very bloody. All the kills and the fight scenes are great. It's like action Santa Claus. So he's trying to rescue a family from terrorists and save himself. And they're very creative kills, just like in John Wick, just like you'd expect. And I just love it because you don't get a lot of R-rated it's R-rated holiday films, so it's not for the whole family, but it's just kind of fun to be able to go there.
Someone told me that he came out of the theater. He wrote to me like immediately, said, I've never seen anything like this. He says, oh my God, he says, I'm now out of the Christmas spirit.
Out of the Christmas spirit?
That's what he said, yeah.
Oh my God, no! I think what I love most about the movie, and actually I talked to David Harbour about it, and you can see my interview with him later today on my website. So I'll debut my interview with him on TV this morning, and then put it on my website so you can see it. But I said to him that this is a movie that is incredibly violent, it definitely delivers on the violent in the name of the title, but it is still packed with that feel-good holiday Christmas cheer. Yeah. And it really is. You still kind of have that whole question of, is Santa Claus real? There is all the holiday magic, like the reindeer and everything else. The comedy, it's very funny. It's like, it's rated R only because of the violence. Mm-hmm, it's, it's not really, there's no tone. It's not about like sexuality or tone or language even as much. It's more about just like really, extensive fight scenes that show blood. I think they could have made it probably PG-13 if they didn't show blood, as many, that's kind of the line that they draw in the ratings judgment panel. But like aside from that, it's still a total holiday movie where not only does a family have to kind of find their spirit again, but also, I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but there's a great story arc for Santa Claus. Santa Claus has a great backstory. You learn a little bit. I would totally take a prequel of this movie, find out who this guy was before he became Santa. Yeah, like, millennia ago, let's say. And it's really, really cool. You got some flashbacks to who he was before that are really neat. And I think it was great, but I do think it really is packed with the Christmas spirit. I believe that they accomplished that very intentionally and effectively. I would like you to see it to let me know which one of your friends you agree with.
I'll tell. And which one is my friend, right?
Put you on the spot, right?
Well, I mean, marketing wise, I mean, I'm shocked that they didn't go with a PG-13, and the reason why is because, I mean, we're going into a 2 or 3 week period here where the young adults are going to need a movie to see, and they're not getting into an R-rated movie.
Yeah, that's true. But, Strange World just came out, and that was supposed to be a juggernaut. I don't know if anyone's going to do that. And there are other things like, Glass Onion and some of the other ones, The Menu, some of these other PG-13 films that are very good. Love The Menu. There are some good things out there. I'm forgetting the big one next week, but you also have Avatar around the corner in like a week or two. And so there's plenty, but it's, again, I want to stand by. I'd like to see more R-rated holiday movies. It's extremely rare. I mean, I just think throw us a bone once in a while for those of us that don't have kids and want to go see a holiday movie that's not on the Hallmark Channel. And we want to see some bloodshed and some action and some badass Santa Claus. Like I was so there for it. I thought it was fantastic.
What else did you see this week?
There's a documentary I watched called Skin Deep: Formulating a Legacy, which is available digitally on demand on all platforms. And it's a documentary about the cosmetic chemist Vincenzo Spinato, who, I met recently in June in Hollywood because he was the mastermind behind the Judy Garland fragrance that he created in celebration of her would-be 100th birthday. Now, this documentary I checked out, it's new and it follows the trajectory of his life. It followed him for several years. And not only do you see all the science behind what a cosmetic chemist does, and he works on very high-end projects, he's kind of the mastermind behind so many celebrity fragrances. You know how these celebrities just come out with fragrances and their names are on it and they make millions of dollars? Well, who actually does that? He's like one of the lead players in the world who's worked with almost every celebrity you can think of. Mm-hmm. He overcomes a lot of difficulties. It's the support system that he has, the creativity that he puts into everything that he does, and it's just I was just totally wowed by him and this very inspirational documentary. Again, it's called Skin Deep: Formulating a Legacy. It's available to stream, and the reason I wanted to cover it this week is because it's December. I'm starting to think about my gift giving, and some years I do a little bit of a gift guide and holiday recommendations, and I partnered with Vince to give away one of his new bottles of Judy Garland fragrance. Wow. It's $129 value. You can go to my website to enter to win that. It's a great, now it's a unisex fragrance, and I've been wearing it since June, and it was created, and Liza Minnelli said it smells like mama. So if you want to smell like Judy, or perhaps at this point like me, pick up this fragrance. This is the gift you want to give yourself. You know how some fragrances, it's like they smell differently on each person depending upon the oils in their skin. This is a scent, though, that I have so many friends that have it because, I'm big in the Oz community and a lot of Judy Garland fans there. Everyone, male, female, has it and wears it daily, and everyone loves it. Everyone gets compliments on it. I think this is the one unisex fragrance that is universally great on all skin types. So it's a great gift for anyone who likes Judy or the Wizard of Oz. The fragrance is available at judygarlandfragrance.com. And again, you can go to my website right now to enter to win a free bottle at ryanjreviews.com.
Oh my God, that's got to be incredible. Absolutely. Was there anything else that was on your list this week?
Yeah, I saw season 3. I've got 2 more for you. Season 3 of His Dark Materials.
What's that?
Have you been watching the HBO series, HBO Max? His Dark Materials is based on a Philip Pullman series, and it's a book series, a trilogy. They're like my favorite books. I like them even more than Harry Potter. It's kind of for young adult, but also skews a little bit older and more mature. The Golden Compass, which was book 1, was turned into a film starring Daniel Craig and Nicole Kidman. It didn't do well at the box office. I think it was 2007. If you remember that one. But the Golden Compass is book 1. Book 2 is A Subtle Knife. Book 3 is The Amber Spyglass. And this is season 3. They've adapted all 3 books to HBO so well. It's kind of like, it's like it's more Harry Potter than it is Lord of the Rings. It's not like about a kid that goes to a magic school, but it's about these parallel worlds where a child becomes part of a prophecy and meets another child who can cut through worlds. And it's very mature, very adult. The books are kind of controversial because it's about overreaching a government agency that wants to tell people how to live. Some people were saying it was an allegory for religion. At the time, the author was atheist. He's not anymore. It's a very interesting backstory behind all this. But the adaptation of this third season, I thought would be so impossible just because the worlds and the places and the environments that they go to are amazing, from heaven to hell to everywhere else. And it's got Lin-Manuel Miranda and Ruth Wilson and James McAvoy. And I binged this immediately, and it's so good. So that's HBO, His Dark Materials season 3. And lastly, Mr. Saturday Night, the Broadway musical with Billy Crystal, based on his directorial debut film in 1992. Did you see the movie?
No.
I didn't either, and I actually didn't even know. I didn't know it was a movie. But Billy Crystal is a national treasure. Obviously, everything he does is hilarious. He's wonderful and hilarious in this. It was nominated for 5 Tonys, didn't win, but it ran for about 4 months on Broadway earlier this year. Was filmed during its last week and debuts now on Broadway HD, the streaming platform. One of his co-stars in it is Randy Graff. She originated the role on Broadway in Les Mis. Fantine, the girl, who sings "I Dreamed a Dream," the role that won Anne Hathaway an Oscar. So she's in this musical. Also, Shoshana Bean, who I adore. She's one of my favorite Broadway stars. She was the first Elphaba replacement on Broadway in Wicked after Idina Menzel left. So great talent, and it's not a true story. I thought it seems like it's a true story because it's about a stand-up comic, but it's not. It's an original story that Billy wrote with some friends and made this film, and I was Broadway musical, and I love a Broadway musical, so I love Broadway HD, and it's really cool to see a musical from this year just hit there, as opposed to waiting several years before Hamilton came to Disney Plus. We had to wait several years, you know what I mean? This is like, we get one that just closed in September, and now you can watch it.
Wow. See, I haven't heard the name Billy Crystal in so long, and to have this pop up is like, oh my, because we've been watching on, what I love about HD TV is the fact that you can go back there and watch old television shows, and we've been binge watching Soap.
Oh wow, so good.
And yet, you sit there and you go, as in my 20s and 30s, I mean, Soap was like, oh, okay, it's funny, but as an adult, it's like, God, this is great.
Absolutely.
This is brilliant writing. These guys knew exactly what they were doing.
So true. So true.
Wow. So you've got a big interview that's going to be popping up on RyanJReviews.com in a matter of hours. I mean, to be with that actor, I mean, I just cannot imagine, because I only know him from Stranger Things. I mean, but to be in a real life situation, that I'm going to be on your website.
Oh, yeah, you have to be, because especially the first thing he says in the interview is so funny to me, and you'll get it.
That's awesome. And make sure that you do your homework for those critic reviews and your nominations and stuff.
Oh, boy, yeah. See, I'm going to need a lot of coffee. I'll keep you posted.
I'll be calling you at 2 o'clock in the morning. Which one you on? Don't
hesitate. Thanks, Arrow.
You be brilliant today, okay, buddy?
You too. Thanks so much.